In Rocket League, there have been some iconic duos. However, there's never been one quite this dominant. Throughout Rocket League, there have been duos that have stuck together through thick and thin. You have Garrett G and Justin, who stuck together since Season 5.
Got it. Yep.
To me.
Alright, so double one. Open.
Let's go! Do what they could not do before!
There's Zen and Atow, who've stuck together and replaced their third man as time has gone on.
Some inspiration from him or Oski. This is where I feel like
this is just ridiculous. What is happening?
A little bit, but Gerani over here. History, by the way. Everyone's sort of hard watching and.
However, there is one that has stuck out so much that people genuinely can't believe this is happening. Before we get there though, we need to talk about why having a strong teammate to stick with is so important in Rocket League. Being in a Rocket League team, it's tough. You have a roster change, which happens, well, roster changes happen all the time, and you have teams who betray their players just for a spot on the team, and finally you have burnout, where you may not be the player you once were. Rocket League is a massively changing game, and some duos, well, they last, while others, they fall apart. Now what makes this story so incredible is that this duo, they aren't even on the same official RLCS team. In fact, they're rivals. If you don't know who I'm talking about yet, it's obviously Zen and Atow. Zen and Atow played in the 2v2 RLCS, and this was the first time 2v2 has been introduced to this esport. And let me tell you, it did not disappoint. Everyone was predicting this event to be a thriller.
He left Gibbs and is getting nervy. Oh no! They tackle each other! No!
You had 3 teams to keep your eye on. That was Vatira and Juicy, Nas and Oski, and finally Zen and Atow. While Zen and Atow were the favourites of this event, nobody expected this to happen. They went 44-1 in games. And to make things more impressive, in the group stage going into the double elimination bracket, they didn't drop a game. In fact, they barely conceded goals. In the group stage, they stomped their competition, and it was not close. And when I say not close, I mean there was only one game with a 1-goal differential. Every other game was above that. And some games, they won like 5-0. Against lower teams, this was expected to happen, and people did not expect them to perform in this dominant way against proven teams such as Gentlemates, Man City, and they just swept Gentlemates. After going 6-0 in games in their group, they faced Manchester City in the upper bracket for the playoffs. While people expected Manchester City to at least take a game, this did not happen. They swept Man City in one of the most one-sided series anybody's ever seen. Man City only scored 2 goals in the entire series, while Zen and Atow scored 15. As much of an impressive result this is, these players they played weren't as talented as some of the top orgs, such as Gentlemates and Carmine Corp, and this is where Zen and Atow would have had their true test, as they played Carmine Corp in the semi-final. People had Vatira and Juicy up there with this team.
Edge towards Carmine Corp though, I think they to me feel just as unbeatable. Bear in mind that yesterday they won with even greater scorelines than we saw Zato win with.
You're right.
So
right.
They set records. They were scorigami monsters.
I mean, setting records.
They thought they'd give them a run for their money, maybe not winning, but at least taking some games from them or making a close scoreline. However, that's far from what happened. They got swept by this team, and not just swept, dominated. And what makes this win so impressive is that Vatira just won the MVP for the Paris Major, which, you know, this team just won. People viewed Vatira as the best player in the world after that event. However, that didn't stop this duo. They only conceded 5 goals in 4 games, and they scored 13 goals. There was only one game where Zen and Atow only won by 1 goal. I don't think you understand how this doesn't ever happen to Vatira. Even when Vatira loses, he puts up a fight and he makes close games and close scorelines. But this was pure domination, supposedly of the best player in the world. Zen and Atow only needed to win 1 more series to qualify for the World Championship, and they had to play Oski and Nas, who are one of the most feared duos in the entire world. They won the Boston Major with Archie and probably have the biggest peaks in the world. Did this stop Zen and Atow? Absolutely not. Nas and Oski got swept. However, they did put up a bit of a fight. They took Zen and Atow to overtime twice, which has not happened in the top 16 portion of this tournament for them. Zen and Atow still dominated in possession. They won both overtimes, and Atow scored this ridiculous goal to win the tournament.
So just send it along. Who's first to it? Nas will be him, and the boost is stolen again by Atow, who then immediately tries to swipe. He has no boost, but Zen doesn't know that. Atow's got a chance to shoot from it. He does.
The secret to them playing is Zen being the best player in the world on the ball, and Atow, well, he's the second best player on the world on the ball. That didn't make sense. Wait, let me do that again. Zen is the best player in the world on the ball, and Atow is the second best player in the world on the ball. That's such a mouthful. What the hell am I doing? Every time this team gets a chance, they deliver, and they didn't really miss any opportunities. The only question now is, can they do this at the World Championship? And I can't lie, I don't think it's really close. This team is kind of crazy, and they've dominated every game, and I'd argue that Nas and Oski are like just as good as any of the teams at the World Championship, and they dominated Nask and Oski. Nask? Why do I keep saying that? Nas and Oski. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure they're cooked, but well, not Zen and Atow's cooked. The world's cooked. It's French. It's the French. You can't really stop them. But that's this story of this formidable duo. Please subscribe. I'm trying to reach 500 subs at some point, so please help me out. Anyway, peace.